Well, we don't have rocks in 3D or in Florida. Can't even talk. Much to the chagrin of many RC rock crawler fans. But we do have 3D printers. So I just print all my rocks. That way I can have as many rocks as I want, whatever shape that I want. And these files are all over Thingiverse. That one's covered in like a rubberized coating and then rock flake type paint. It's very sticky. I got another one somewhere. Yeah. I painted these with like stone effect paint from like Home Depot. It's got a little grippy texture to it, which makes rock crawling easier. Put that over there. Sorry, my phone is mounted to my RC4GS here. Suboptimal for sure. Okay, this is what it looks like without any coating. This is just regular gray PLA. It's kind of slick, but the layer lines offer traction. The least amount of traction is on this rainbow PLA. I guess I thought it was going to look like rock stripes. I guess it sort of did. But then I found this sedimentary rock PLA. I forget who made it. Is it Overture? Anyway, it's very coarse, very dull, matte finish, very kind of good grip, and it looks great. It looks really great. So you can see the different layer lines in it. The texture is fine, so I just print my own rocks. Anyway, let's get the Doorok going here. It's kind of be a challenge to, oh, I can turn it on. Select model. I think the RC4GS works fine as a transmitter. The menu system is not ideal. I've been using the term suboptimal a lot lately. And the menu on this is suboptimal, for sure. This little Doorok, though, is a very capable little buggy. That rock is probably better for just display. I think we'll use this rock for stuff like this, where we, you know, Lucy, that's really rude, stop. Just show off the flex of the vehicle. I thought I printed this one right here as kind of a display piece, but you know, it all works. And that's the cool thing about it. We can do whatever we want. These RC Crawler Park, I know it's upside down to you folks right now. There we go, RC Crawler Park. They have a whole line of these, and ones with bridges. And what I like to do is go in and fiddle with the scale. So I could make this piece taller. I could stretch it out in one dimension or the other. I could, you know, like, you can just change the parameters. Now this basic black PLA here is kind of slick. On the bottom of some of these I have little rubber pads like you'd put under you know, something on a shelf or whatever, the little clear silicone pads or black rubber pads that are self-adhesive keep them from sliding around. This one does not benefit from any of that technology. This is going to be the longest video I've done in a long time. I'm sorry if you find this boring. I think this Doorok is an amazing little vehicle. This is not a stock Doorok by any means. This is a highly modified Doorok. I've got the aluminum dual spring shocks on there. They do have a fake reservoir, which I'm not always a fan of, but these are okay. It's got the Tiny4X4 aluminum beadlock rims. Front ones have weights in them. It's also got a Orlando orange skid. It's got the CVD fine axles. I broke 2 of these. For some reason, a gear stripped off, or 2 or 3 in the rear differential, and locked it up, and this little N30 motor has enough torque that it snapped that metal drive shaft. I really think they're good looking drive shafts. I may put metal axles on this as my next upgrade and might upgrade the servo. I have an OH32X01 coming in the mail with a brushless Fury-Tech system and these shocks. Yeah, so I got to build that. But this one sits really high. It's got a lot of ground clearance, and it's got an awful lot of flex for something that's 1/32nd scale. It's nuts. The ESC is a Tarsi from Tiny4X4. This came from Switzerland. It's got an Orlando battery in it, and that is, I believe, I want to say it's a 300 RPM motor. Maybe 500, but it's definitely at least 250 or 300. It actually has some pretty good forward wheel speed when I need it. One thing it does not have very great of is turning radius. It is not bad because it's so light I can get it to rotate around things, but also just these obstacles are really more 24th scale. Oh. I do worry about getting this thing stuck to where the wheel is restrained and then applying torque and snapping an axle or stripping a gear, because this little motor has a lot of torque and the parts on this thing are really thin. But it just works great. The battery lasts a long time. It's got a Radio Link R. Ooh. 4GM? Yeah. Anyway, I'll shut up. You can just enjoy it. So good. Babe, what do you think of my kingdom of 3D printed rock? We don't have rocks in Florida. Look at this little thing. It just goes over everything.
This looks like a shriveled penis with tiny balls. That's what it looks like.
I'm on YouTube right now.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Or you're on YouTube right now. No, you're correct. It does resemble that certain.
I brought you your pajama pants.
Thanks.
He's gonna be cool tonight.
Yeah.
Alright. I'll see you in the morning. Have fun with your Tinker Toys.
All right, I love you.
Love you too.
Tinker Toys, huh? Look at the angle this thing is sitting at. It's great. Oops. Oh, upside down. The hand of Joe. We can get across the thought. Now I've cleared it. Printed that part with extended dimensions just for that reason. Well, doing some rock bouncing. Oh, moly. You know what, I'm just going to drive out of that one. I'm not going to be responsible for what happens to the axles on this thing if I kept going. This obstacle here that it's on was one of my original ones. It was built to challenge the rock fan. It's not much of a challenge for the rock fan, especially in its modified state. This thing is just sublime. There are a lot of build videos online. There's also an Edwards RC video with the XO1, which I have coming, with a, I think he put 1,000 or 3,000 RPM motor in it. And I think the XO1 has a lower center of gravity than this. Because what I want to create, actually, I think I got, for the XO1, I think I only got the single spring shocks, not the double. Yeah. Because if you go on the internet right after you watch this video, like and subscribe. I wouldn't worry about the notification bell. Few and far between. Most of the people that are going to see this are going to be on Instagram anyway. Which I doubt. If you've stuck with this video for this long, you, like myself, are a long video fan. I like, oh, unavoidable. This thing will flip itself back over in most situations, but I just don't, I'm kind of guarded about those axles and really abusing them. Look at the, yeah, I think this ESC is called an AH Tarsi. $16.90 on Tiny4X4.com. The slow control on this. Oh. Get that. Let's go back this way. Oh wow, dude. Wow. Can we like stop for a minute? If you've watched this far, it's because you're into these things. Stop for a minute and think about this little thing. I've probably got 175, 200 in this thing. Maybe a little bit more if you consider that. Well, there's a classic high center there. Look at the balance of this thing. Of course it drove off. Ooh. When you watch guys do setup table videos, side hill angle matters. Approach and departure angles matter. Ooh, look at that transition. That stayed up. I am into this for the technicality of crawling, going slow. I know for a fact that if I took off from one end of this little pile of rocks and just gunned to throttle, it would just bounce right over most of them. Because that's what this chassis is specifically designed to do. Like, look at this thing. It's like a little spider. I think that's what I'm calling it. It's black and red. I'm going to call it the Black Widow. That's so corny. See, that's where you get that little bit of wheel speed from that 300 RPM motor. Oh. Yeah, there's no way over there from the front. I know you're saying, well, you can go over everything if you back up every 10 seconds. Well, yeah, this isn't a comp. This is 3D printed rocks on my bed on a Tuesday night. I need to scale this plate up. They're just the perfect size to get this thing high centered. And because it's so 50-50, I think it's 50-50. It just stays there very stably. Wow. Wow. The angle that was just at. Saved it from rollover. Ah, spoke too soon. Look at that beautiful chassis. All right, I think you get it. This video is way too long. I've got only 25% of all three or four of you watched this far. So that one guy watching, thanks for watching. Get yourself a Doorok. Parts are cheap. Except for the axles. The axles are expensive. You guys take it easy.